Hi, you are given a graph of y equals to f of 1 minus x. Now you are asked to sketch this graph where y square is equals to f into 1 minus x. Now let me explain to you what is the difference between y square equals to this or y equals to square root of this. Now, when y square equals to this, if you square root both sides, then you have y will be equals to square root of f of 1 minus x. Now, that means you take the positive and negative of this square root function. However, if they ask you to sketch this, then you only sketch when the result of this is positive only. Alright. Likewise, if they ask you to sketch this, then you only sketch the negative of this square root function. Now, let us consider this point 1, 2. Now, if you square root, now this is above 2, all right, and this is no above 1, all right. So let's say 1 is here. Let's say 1 is somewhere here. Okay. Now square root of 1 is 1. So you look at this, let's consider the asymptote first. Now you square root this asymptote, this point will still be the same because y equals to 1. Now, but however, points is that is less, the y value is less than 1. When you square root it, it becomes bigger. All right, so your new asymptote will look like this. All right. Now, however, this part, it will be smaller because this is greater than 1. You square root a number that is greater than 1, it becomes smaller. All right. So it is a square root function. Okay. Now let's draw the positive part of it first. Now when the y value is very large, when you do a square root, it is still very large. All right. Now this point is 2, so you will go lower, but it will be above 1. All right. So this, your new graph over here will look something like this. Now, however, this part, all right, this is a original asymptote. Now this is the new asymptote. So as x tends to be to negative infinity, it will get closer and closer to this square root function. So your new graph will look something like that. All right, it's a curve. Now, so this is the positive part of it. How about the negative part? All right, you just do a reflection. So it will be something like this. Now, what is the coordinates of this? This will be 1 and square root of 2. All right, how about this? Now, this will be 1 and minus square root of 2. Now, how about this part of the graph? Now, you realize that the value of f1 minus x is negative. So you can't square root because you cannot square root a negative number. So your answer is just this graph and this graph. We have come to part 2 of the question. Now you are given this graph y equals to f1 minus x. You are asked to sketch f of x. Now first we must look at how are we going to transform f of x to 1 minus x. Then after that we do the reverse. Okay, let's look at it. How are we going to do? So you have f of x. You want to transform it to f1 minus x. Now you notice this is a change in x. Alright, so it's a x transformation or it's a horizontal transformation. So you consider x. Now x, you want it to become 1 minus x. You must make sure it's a change in x. Alright, as in my previous lecture. Alright, I told you you have to make sure it is a change in x. So x becomes x plus 1. Alright, x becomes x plus 1. Then x plus 1 becomes minus x plus 1. X becomes minus x. So if you do the reverse, alright, so this is what? Now, this is a reflection in the about the y-axis. Alright, so if you do the opposite, it is still reflection about the y-axis. So you do the reverse, you have reflection about the y-axis. Now how about from here to here? Now let's consider from here to here. Here, x to x plus 1, you shift the graph to the left by 1 unit, alright, to the left, alright. So now you must move to the right by 1 unit. Move right by 1 unit. Okay, so you must do in this order. Now let's do a reflection about the y. Let's consider the asymptote first, because once we draw the asymptote, I think the rest is quite easy. Now reflection about the y-axis. Now this point is 2, okay? Now, so let's look at, this is somewhere in between 1 and 2. So this could be 1.5, 1.4, 1.7. Okay, so if you reflect, all right, if this is 1.7, then it becomes minus 1.7. Correct? Minus 1.7. Now you move right by 0.1. So it becomes 0.7. All right, minus 1.7. You move to the right by 1. It will be 0.7. So it is still minus 1.7. So it is still negative. So your asymptote will be somewhere here. The distance will be less than this. All right, the distance here will be less than here. So let's say here. Now, how about this oblique asymptote? If you reflect it about the y-axis, all right, it will be, you put your mirror here, so it will look something like that. Okay. Now you want to move to the right by 1 unit, so this point will be somewhere here. Okay. Now your original point, let's say, is here. All right, your asymptote, let's say, supposed to be like that. All right, now you move right, all right, by 1 unit. So this point becomes here, move to the right by 1 unit. All right, now this one will be somewhere here. Okay, so it looks something like this. All right, so this is your new oblique asymptote. Okay, now you do a reflection. Okay, what will happen? Your this point will be somewhere here. Okay, and this point will be, this point here will be something like that. So will be here. So this graph will look something like that. Okay. Now what is the coordinates of this point? Okay, you reflect this point about the y-axis. All right. So this one will become. So let's look at this point. The original one was 1, 2. All right. So you reflect about the y-axis, so it become minus 1, 2. All right. Oh, then you move to the right by 1 unit. So it becomes 0, 2. So this point, sorry, it should be here. Your minimum point should be here. All right. So this point becomes 0, 2. Now how about this point? This point was 2, 0. You do a reflection. It becomes minus 2, 0. All right. Then you move to the right by 1 unit. So this one becomes minus 1, 0. So this point becomes minus 1, 0. So this is B prime. Your original was B, and this is A prime. All right. For that, we come to the end of this question.